All right, Crowbar Gym, Hansel Conroy. Some of you may know me, some of you have not probably met me. I'm just doing an update on what has been going on here at the gym. So, pretty much so much right now for most of the gym industry. What's been happening is, we're going through the COVID issue. The whole thing about that is that, of course, social distancing, and keeping the gym clean in general, or almost any establishment, has been a detriment to a lot of business owners. My motto, of course, is a little bit different compared to like a CrossFit or a global gym or anything of that nature. Group classes and things like that, of course, have stopped for a lot of people. I do group classes in here only with people that trust each other and probably live in the same house. So, okay, as couples, because they're together, any kind of family members, things like that. In the sense of strangers, we haven't really done anything with that in itself. Most gyms have reintroduced some group classes, usually wearing a mask or they do stuff outside. It's going to be a little bit harder to do that when you're out in a cold environment, things like that. But working out in the wild per se is actually really really good for you. But there's a difference between activity and, of course, having a meaningful workout. One-on-one training is always the best. It always has been the best, just because that is generally what you want to do if you really want to push the levels of your body retrospectively. Always having a trainer, always having someone who always gives you the right stimulus per se and pushes you to failure appropriately and effectively. Of course, with what is it called? The ability to keep you safe, right? So that's pretty much what we do here at the gym, and that's what I've been trying to do here at the gym for a very long period of time, and throughout my training career. And so we're still doing one-on-ones. We are open, and keeping it as clean and as safe as I can. Everybody that comes in pretty much does the basic. I have like a little chart that says, these are the symptoms of COVID, right? And we know now more than we did before when it comes to the disease that's out there. One of the things is I am going to tell you is one of the things that happens, and it is embarrassing, but it does happen. I got the COVID, and unfortunately, when I got it, it was a fluke how it happened, because if I didn't go off to get my test on my own, I would have never known that I've had it. Even though I keep the gym clean and I wear a mask and I keep surfaces clean, the biggest thing to do is always make sure that the symptoms are not there, right? Well, I wasn't symptomatic. I didn't have it, or I thought I didn't. Went to do a random test. There you go. Had it. Thanks everybody who technically put up with me and the disease. But I'm glad that no one caught it in the gym. None of my families caught it, and no one I work with caught it. Most likely I didn't get it here at the gym. A lot of other people that I know here at the gym never caught it. I have a risk, unfortunately, because I am a police officer as my main job. And of course, when you are at 7-Elevens, around construction people, if you're going to the grocery store and things like that, a lot higher. The good thing is I didn't get affected drastically. And one of those things that I attribute to it is my training and my eating habits. And I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me, but looking at some of the data that I've been looking at and seeing other people who are doing whole food, plant-based diets, for example, are keeping people healthy as possible to fight the disease. There's been a couple of celebrities like The Rock, for example, who has also said the same thing as well, as if you stay healthy, these are the things that are going to help you and they're going to aid you to get there. We have to understand that one of the issues with a lot of the disease is the fact that it does affect your breathing, but breathing is affected by circulation, and circulation is a big issue when it comes to the plaque that's in your arteries. So if you are eating processed foods, like foods when you go out and you shop and you technically go to restaurants. I used to work in a restaurant business. At the end of the day, as a restaurant owner or as a restaurant, technically work the work there is all about making the food taste really good. We're not measuring how much protein you're taking in. We're not measuring how many carbs. We're not measuring how much fat you take in. But when you really look at the data on what you get in a restaurant, all the way to the highest and all the way to the lowest grade of restaurant, you're getting a processed good, and those processed goods, unfortunately, do affect your body detrimentally. If you have high fats, and then if you have milks and a lot of butter and things like that, if you have white flour, for example, all that stuff eventually creates plaque in your arteries. And those are the things, and also too, those things also boggle down your ability technically to stay clean in a sense, right? And have your liver function appropriately. On top of that, there's a lot of detriment that goes into what you take in when the consumption of proteins and the consumption of oils and fats. It also affects your microbiome. That is the lining in the microorganisms that are inside your stomach. And if they're eating, pretty much the basic three that are bad for you, a lot of sugar, that's fake, by the way, a lot of oil, that's pretty much a processed good, any fat that doesn't have any fiber attached to it, it is not good for you. I'm not going to argue with you. If you stop reading an industry study that is funded by pretty much the oil or the butter industry, okay? And you will realize this has been around for 60 years, and it's getting more, what I call is, if you actually look at the data suggests you need to eat real fats. And then the second thing is overconsumption of protein. You don't really need that much protein. You actually need less protein, unless you're on a high protein diet and you're using protein as a fuel and you're optimizing. A lot of it is optimization of the body. The reality is that you're taking in way too much protein. If you're not tracking your food and you're not looking to see what you're bringing into your body, you really have no idea or no business pretending to figure out what is good for you. If anything, you're just going off taste, and you're going off of an industry study that is technically supported by either the meat industry, the oil industry, the fat industry, the dairy industry, and all those, unfortunately, their main goal is to push their product onto you. At the end of the day, there is no big bean industry. There's no big lettuce, no big beets. Those produce, as far as I know, there's no produce industry either. Even though fruits and vegetables are the key. There's many diets that are out there, but at the end of the day, the things that are going into your body and the things that are healthy for you are important. So I pretty much didn't have any symptoms from the COVID, and I'm super glad that no one got sick. And I was fine. I only had one day where I felt really horrible, and that one day was because I went running, and I walked the dogs, and I carried heavy stuff, and I could tell that my body was weakening because I extended my my ability technically to heal myself. In that respect, also, I've been in multiple car crashes, and those things affected me, and this is why I started the Crowbar gym. And that's one of the things why I decided to do high tension training, very slow moving movements, do the whole body or piece the body out depending, different body parts when it comes to the movement, and contracting the muscle intensely to failure. And that's what we do here. And you can see the rest of my videos on what we do. But I do that because that has aided me in rehabbing my shoulders, my back, my neck, my lower back, my knees. I have a long career in the military and law enforcement. And this is why I started this gym, to really help me, post-rehab my body. In its journey, I actually did really well, and I accomplished my mission to a degree. Do I still have some aches and pains? Yeah, of course. And if I push myself to a little bit past failure, I do hurt myself. But at the end of the day, the secret component to giving myself the ability to heal is actually the ability to rest. and my numbers have gone exponentially. I exercise less now than I did when I was even in the Marine Corps, and my numbers are higher than previous. I also put on a good amount of mass. Body mass is important at the end of the day, and my fat ratio has gone down as well. And we have wonderful tools to do that, like the ARX, like we have behind us, and then we also have the bikes as well that give you the ability to, I guess, push your cardio, out there. Now, I'm not going to get into the science behind it because it's not necessary at this moment, but this is what's been happening here at the Crowbar Gym so far. I'm doing one-on-one classes, and I'm also doing group classes for people who are together. And if you guys want to partake, we have a free demo that we have here, and then you can try out the machines, the gear, and you can figure out the philosophy. And the proof is in really trying it out for 12 sessions, and then seeing how you feel. But mind you, even if you don't like the workout, because the workouts are tough, they're not easy. And the mindset is you're going to come in here and you're going to work out once or twice a week, retrospectively, and it's going to be a very tough workout. And the workout is there to give you the stimulus that you need for your muscles. And then there's the rest that's also a stimulus to technically aid you to get better and get faster and stronger. And then the second thing, or the third thing after that, I kind of lost track there, is is honestly the way you eat, and we will discuss that. And all systems in dieting work at the end of the day. It's just what are you willing to do to get to your goal, okay? And that's a discussion that we have here. Some people they don't want to have that discussion, and that's perfectly fine. But to get the best results, if your trainer, depending if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this via email, if your trainer is not aiding you in picking better food, or you're going to to a dietitian or somebody who's technically there to give you an eating plan, and they're just putting you on the fad diet, like a keto diet, like a low carb diet, or anything of that nature, they're really honestly doing a disservice to you, just because statistically those diets don't really work effectively for the long term. Really good diets take into account a variety of different things that you need when it comes to nutrition. But that's another story. So this is pretty much what we've been doing. And hope to see you all come back, either come back from where you were at, and then reintroduce yourself back into the Crowbar Gym, or if you're new or you've never stepped foot here before, to come back and give the process a try, because it will definitely, even if you don't stay with me or stay here at the gym, it will make your workouts, when you do compose a workout, you will technically take it to the next level, because you've realized that you have pretty much have tricked yourself into mediocrity, right? Is that a right word? Probably not. Well, mediocre, to be mediocre. So because that's what the machines do. They test you. The mindset is you come in here and it needs to be hard. And the stronger you get, the harder it gets. And that's how it is. It's never an easy workout. It's always between 100% to 70%. And it's still hard at 50 to 70%. So what you give it, it's still going to test you. Still going to push your limits. We're not always going to go 110% here. So hope to see you guys in this coming month. Come in. You got the website. Feel free to ask for a demo. And I hope to see you all here at the Crowbar Gym. And take care.